This chihuahua found an old leather pouch under a rock. You won't believe what was in it. Over $100,000 worth of forgotten treasure. Sometimes the smallest packages find the greatest treasures. This is the story of a chihuahua, Chewey, who found something no one has seen in centuries. It started on a simple hike. Chewey, full of energy, was exploring the trail with his owner, Steve Parsons, when everything changed in an instant. A squirrel darted across the path, and Chewey, acting on pure instinct, gave chase. But then, the squirrel vanished. Chewey stopped dead in his tracks at the base of a massive ancient tree and started digging. Steve rushed over, confused, but Chewey refused to stop. He was determined. Steve noticed the dog was focused on a spot behind a large rock. The chihuahua shoved his nose inside and let out a series of sharp, excited barks. There was definitely something in there. Curiosity got the better of him. Steve heaved the heavy rock aside. Underneath, he found a small dugout pit that had to be man-made. There was a brown, odd object there. Almost invisible against the dark earth was a leather pouch. It was tied shut tightly and sealed with hardened pine resin soaked in the ties to secure them. It was very heavy. This was deliberately hidden. The chihuahua sat down proudly, tail wagging, as if he knew he'd just accomplished his life's mission. They hurried home to the workshop so they could document the opening of the pouch. In his workshop, he placed it on the table, his heart pounding. He set up the cameras and lights. Slowly, cautiously, he began to break the ancient seal. The resin cracked and splintered. The old leather loosened. He untied the knot and opened the pouch. What he saw inside made him freeze. His hands started to shake. He knew it had to be worth a fortune, but he had no idea what he was truly looking at. The actual display of the found cash was astounding and mind-blowing. Steve brought the mysterious pouch to his friend, Howard Starr, a longtime museum expert. As Steve carefully opened it on Howard's desk, inside the bag was a potpourri of treasures we could not fathom would be in a small leather pouch. Gold, turquoise, and beads. There was a piece of gold the size of a golf ball. Mixed among the gold were beautiful, raw turquoise stones. But then Howard spotted objects that told the story. Tucked within the treasure were several perfect arrowheads. They looked like they were made yesterday, virtually untouched, razor sharp. Howard fell silent for a long moment. "These are over 200 years old," he finally said, his voice full of awe. He explained that this wasn't stolen gold or a bandit's stash. This was a sacred cache. It was most likely hidden by a Cherokee individual in the early 1800s. During the tragic era of the Trail of Tears, it contained essential items: gold, turquoise, beads for trade, and perhaps even sacred offerings. It was buried on my land, meant to be recovered one day. And after 2 centuries waiting to be found, it wasn't discovered by a fancy metal detector or a team of historians. It was found by a fun-loving chihuahua named Chewey, a tiny dog on a simple hike who managed to uncover a forgotten piece of history. It just goes to show, you never know what secrets are waiting just beneath your feet. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.